I'm Vic Myers. Welcome to the Resistance, and I'm running out of daylight. How does a fascist takeover gain momentum? It gains momentum when the opposition resorts to violence. This is part 5 of Resistance Needs a Plan. Plan to be nonviolent. I'm seeing more and more comments about how protesting is a waste of time, or things have gone too far, and it's time for the Second Amendment. I get it. I really do. I can't turn on the TV or scroll without seeing videos of ICE behavior that causes a primal rage to well up inside me. I would be lying if I said I didn't at times wish to see a mob of protesters descend upon a group of ICE agents and administer some primeval justice. I get it. Many people will hear this and think I'm just a liberal flower child pacifist. Nope. I was a sergeant in the 101st Airborne, Air Assault. I'm not afraid of a fight, and when a fight is necessary, I fight to win. My understanding in why violence is not the answer is rooted in what happens when violence becomes the answer, and what it means about why violence became the answer. As a kid, I was a skinny, scrawny, freckle-faced redhead. I grew up being the target of bullies. I learned early on that I could make the bullies stop with a good old-fashioned knuckle sandwich. Initially, I took some butt whoopings. But eventually, I gave more than I got. And then I learned that I could stand up for myself without engaging in a physical fight, because the power to win was never in my fists. It was in my resolve. As I came to learn this, I didn't know that I was learning a micro lesson about how fascism is defeated. In part 1 of this series, I referenced Paxton, Eco, and Arendt. They're scholars who have studied how democracies slide into authoritarianism and how people and institutions have resisted and responded to it. And across their work, there's a common warning. When resistance turns to violence, it undermines the very legitimacy it needs to succeed. It reduces us to being no better than those we are opposing. Where they use indiscriminate violence against us, we'll find ourselves using indiscriminate violence against them. We will lose the moral standing necessary to claim the right to control the power that we're trying to protect. Because power gained through violence is the kind of power that can only be retained through violence. It's the kind of power that corrupts, and it's rarely given up without another fight. Right now, violence and fear are the tools of the oppressors. They rely on it to control us. They use it to demoralize us. They count on it because they can't count on our institutions that exist by design to oppose them. Flawed as many of them may be, we still have our institutions and the legitimacy required to control them. We still have the ability to fix them and improve them and use them to hold accountable those who are trying to destroy them. And we have them because we haven't resorted to violence. When I worked in the prisons, I was constantly gaming out how I would respond in a crisis situation. I prepared myself to handle whatever I could imagine would come up. On more than one occasion, this practice saved me from having to get into physical confrontations. The best way, at least in my opinion, to plan for nonviolence is to have a plan if you find yourself in a potentially violent situation. Give yourself an out before you need it, and never plan to initiate it. Thanks for listening. Good day.